Plaqueboymax recently dropped his first ever mixtape called 5 Forever, and the reception from the public has been skewed to say the least. On one side, Max's fanbase is saying the album is full of bangers and Max is making better music than some mainstream rappers, while the other side is calling it trash and saying bro needs to just stick to streaming. And as much as I can say I understand the hate that comes from people who listen to mainstream rap and have people like Drake and 21 in their playlist, because the album has a more underground sound, what I don't understand is the niggas who have guys like this as their favorite rapper and still have the audacity to pretend like they think Max's album is any worse. I mean, I have literally seen people on Twitter talking about how Max's album was not good, and it's fine if you personally don't like it, but what really had to make me raise my eyebrows was when I started seeing people talking about how it was quote unquote lacking in skill, even for underground music, and I just had to be like, what skill? At what point did y'all niggas start giving a damn about lyrics or intricate flows or anything remotely related to skill in rap? The fact that you think most of these garbage underground rappers are making their music with any kind of formula or deep knowledge of music just goes to show how far the glazing has gone and started to damage people's perceptions of what's actually going on. And don't get me wrong, I like these same underground rappers because that's my personal taste in music, but if your favorite artist is Playboi Carti or anyone even remotely affiliated with Opium, don't you dare for a second pretend like you listen to music for anything else than just the vibe. Which, by the way, Max's album creates just fine, because whether you're Max, Osama Son or Netspend, all three of them are literally just kids hopping on random type beats saying the most substanceless things that they are definitely not doing in real life, and we still like it because the beats are hard and their voices are mixed to make it sound cool. That's it. Pretending like Max is any worse than these guys as if any of you have ever cared about hip-hop skill levels is nothing short of pretentious garbage, especially since if we're really gonna get into a conversation of technical skill when it comes to rap, Max's project objectively displays a better level of it than many of these underground rappers that you guys glaze. I mean, at least this nigga is audible when he talks. I could actually bump Savan or Pink Moscato in the club, but do you think I would ever even think to play this around the hose? Y'all will hate on this project, but call this the pinnacle of rap? The delusion is insane, and again, this is no hate to Osama Son because again, I do enjoy his music, but what I am annoyed with is the clear bias against a talented potential musician purely because he happens to have another skill, which is being good at streaming. I don't know when it became a crime to be good at multiple forms of entertainment, but because this corny generation has idolized being mysterious and cool, apparently it's a bad thing now that this guy is actually funny and entertaining behind a camera, and that means that his music skill is automatically rendered what, useless? As if anyone who didn't start their career instantly as a rapper has committed some cardinal sin and they're incapable of making good music. Newsflash, Drake was an actor in a wheelchair and now he sings about popping niggas. Of course, another popular example of this is DDG, but I genuinely think that's different. Reason being that DDG's music targets a much different audience of hip-hop, and if you're trying to go for the mainstream fans like the Drake fans, Kendrick fans, Future, 21, Gunna, etc., the bar of quote-unquote skill is naturally going to be higher, and I can genuinely see why they think DDG's music does not live up to par in comparison outside of a few songs. I like DDG, but skill-wise, it's just true. But when it comes to Max, his competition is literally Netspend. It's almost disrespectful to play in this man's face and pretend to find reasons to hate on this project, as if it were made by a rapper that you actually liked, you wouldn't be calling it fire. I'm not saying you need to like Max or anybody for that matter, but this culture of hating on music not because of the quality but because of who made it is completely reductive to the genre as a whole, and it would genuinely help if people allowed themselves to be less brainwashed by stereotypes and falling for rage bait garbage and actually thought for themselves. But speaking of music being hated, if you want to find out why Dave Blunt's career has pretty much 6 months remaining, click the video on your screen right now, and as always, the rap game has been decoded.